We're here at South by Southwest 2013 with the one and only Shane Carruth from Upstream Color. Yeah, you are the one and
I
only.
know, right? I mean, of course I am. That makes sense.
This one, was it particularly difficult to make, or did you feel it just kind of come out of you?
It was a very short writing process, less than 3 months probably, which I've never written anything that fast. The production itself was probably one of the more difficult ones that there has ever been, basically. We make up for a lack of technical know-how with some earnestness, but that means a lot of work, and so it was difficult on people, I think.
Well, and it's kind of a complicated story, as was Primer, and it'd be hard for me to sort of, I guess, say as eloquently as you. So how would you describe this to people?
This is awesome. I absolutely would not describe this to people, which is why I'm so glad to be able to have my hands in the distribution, because that means I get to cut the trailers. I get to decide how an audience meets the film, what they know about it before they see it, and I don't know. A synopsis, I don't quite understand them anymore because I know my favorite movies. I mean, like The Graduate. If somebody told me, "Hey, you want to go see this movie? It's about a guy who's having an affair with an older woman," like, nope, no, thank you, not interested. Why would I want that? But in reality, the movie is wonderful, and it's not really that. It's because of how great the storytelling is. So in the same way, I mean, the synopsis for this is I think we wrote some one-line thing: a man and a woman are drawn together, entangled in the life cycle of an ageless organism. And honestly, that's pretty much it. Combined with the media that's been put together, you get a sense of the tone and how it moves and what's going to be asked of the audience and then what's going to be given. So I think I feel much more comfortable with that than I do with trying to synopsize it.
Yeah. Well, and also people have different interpretations of actually what they're seeing and what happens and all that. So do you like it that way? Do you feel like your films will always be that way? They're going to people are going to have to take what they will out of it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I think that's part of narrative, or there's a way to end a film and everybody knows everything they need to know when they walk away. I don't necessarily like that. It gives me nothing to do afterwards. I think the purpose of narrative is to combine an interesting exploration with a really compelling moment-by-moment experience, so that you can go on and either have a conversation or maybe potentially revisit the film if it hasn't been too taxing to watch. And so we spend a lot of effort making sure that the film is both nutritious, but also compelling and thrilling, I think, in many ways, and it's definitely emotional. So I think that's the hope, is that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, and I think intelligent film fans will really appreciate this, because there's so much, as it was with Primer, for them to wrap their heads around and think about for days on end.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like when you go and present this film at a place like South by Southwest, or when you go to Sundance, do you feel like that's your home, that's your audience, like those are your people?
I don't know if I would have come up with those words, but that's not wrong. I mean, yeah, festival audiences, they're looking to be challenged. So with a work like this, it's definitely, it's welcoming. Yeah.
And the decision to put it out yourself and do all the distribution, was that something you felt like that's the only way you're going to get it seen in the way that you want it seen?
It's tough, because I think the film's pretty strong, and we could definitely, if we were trying to sell it, we could sell it. And then some other distributor would be deciding what it looks like to the outside world and how to contextualize it. The idea to do it ourselves is so that we can control that. We can continue storytelling by crafting the artwork and the trailers and stuff. And so, there's a way to sell this movie where you could just do everything you could to get every last dollar and make every last person aware, but that wouldn't necessarily be true to what the ambition of the film is. So if we do it, we can be confident that we're only getting out there the information that we think properly frames. I mean, like there are movies in the last few years where there are these tight little difficult dramas, but they're being sold as romantic comedies, and all that winds up doing is upsetting audiences that are expecting one thing and given another. And so I know that our job is not to make as much money as possible. It's to make sure that the audience that it's for knows that it's for them, and in what way. And so that's what we've been doing.
And how is it looking, the whole process? Is it more difficult than you had imagined, or is it going okay?
This is a film that's got a different sort of ambition to it. So it was always going to be probably divisive in some way, because there's going to be people that immediately key into what it's trying to do and they'll judge it based on that. Other people might have, or I know this is probably what happened, that they maybe had a different expectation, and when the film doesn't try to do that, it's it's obviously going to fall. I don't know, not fall flat, but it's not going to be what they hoped for. So that's what I see as the beginning of a conversation. We're now seemingly in the middle of the conversation, where I don't think there's anybody walking into this film that doesn't quite know what's being asked of them and what they can ask from the film. So I think we're at a pretty good place in the conversation. So that's the way I see this little campaign that's going on.
Well, now you have another film already in the works, right?
That's the idea. Yeah, I'm writing something almost done called The Modern Ocean, and yeah, I can't wait. It's like a follow through on some of the language that's been developed for Upstream Color, and I don't know. It's great. It's like a tragic romance set at sea among shipping routes and foreign ports and pirates and repo men and explosions and all the fun.